June 1967. Middle East. Tensions have been running high for weeks. Egypt's President Nasser had sent in a couple of his divisions to Syria as a symbolic show of Arab unity against Israeli provocation. Stakes are very high on all sides. Egypt has rearmed itself with the help of the Soviets, rebuilt its air force with the latest Soviet-built supersonic MiGs. The Israeli propaganda machine propagated the myth that the nation faced danger of extermination. Israel was secretly preparing to attack the Arab armies for over a decade, well armed with the latest Western-made military equipment. They have built a formidable air force with French-made state-of-the-art supersonic Mirage fighters and other fighters and bomber aircrafts. The whole world is watching nervously. And then it happens. Early morning on the 5th of June, Israel makes a preemptive strike on Egypt and delivers a devastating blow. The Egyptian Air Force is all but wiped out on the ground. Their air bases, runways and facilities lay in ruins from heavy aerial bombings by the invading Israeli Air Force. Nasser's MiGs don't even get a chance to take off. They are bombed to pieces on the ground. The Arab sides lost more than 450 combat aircraft that day. Without the necessary air cover, Egyptian and Syrian armies were doomed and at the mercy of the Israeli Air Force. After neutralizing the Egyptian Air Force, Israel turns its eyes on another of its neighbors, Jordan. Jordan only had a batch of 24 British-made Hawker Hunters to defend its airspace, and not even enough pilots to fly these subsonic jets. After wiping out relatively better-equipped Syrian-Egyptian air forces, Israel is super confident, and it's just a matter of time to annihilate Jordanian Air Force and bring Jordan to its knees. So the next wave of Israeli aircraft arrive over the Jordanian sky around midday of June 5th. Should be an easy task for the French-built Mystères and Super Mystères to finish the job and go home. But then, the most unexpected thing happens. A young Pakistan Air Force pilot, flight lieutenant of the then East Bengal origin, had arrived in Jordan 6 months earlier to train their pilots. Fearing the breakout of a war, the ill-prepared Jordanians asked Saiful Azam and his fellow officer, Sarwar Shad, whether they would volunteer to defend Jordan. These young Pakistanis agreed, and Israeli pilots were to get the shock of their life in that attack. This 26-year-old flight lieutenant was Azam, Saiful Azam. Azam's first combat training started in the USA in late 50s, and in April 1961, he was awarded Top Gun at the Luke Air Force Base, Arizona. He had finished top of his class in strafing and bombing training at Luke. Over the 6 days of one-sided mayhem, he would only get 2 opportunities to take on the Israeli combat pilots in the sky, and he would make history. Azam and his 4-plane fighter group managed to take off just seconds before the Israelis attacked the Mafraq air base and engaged them in dogfights. Azam shot down an Israeli Mystère 4 in a flash. His victim crashed to his death at the perimeter fence of Mafraq base. He gave chase to 2 more Israeli fighters fleeing at full speed. He caught up with one and shot it down. His